too good about talking about myself, but I'll give it a shot anyway. I grew up in Africa, so I'm African, as you can probably tell from the picture on the screen. I don't think so. It's just numbers. I did grow up in Africa, but I was an MK. And let's see, I spent quite a bit of time in Southern California. Back then we didn't have middle school, so we called it junior high. So I did junior high and high school and college in Southern California. When I went to college, I was going to be a doctor. And so I took all the classes to become a doctor, and after my sophomore year of college, I took a year off and went over to Japan and taught conversational English, which was a lot of fun. Science and math is my specialty, but I had a good time teaching and had a lot of success, enjoyed Japan, learned a little Japanese, and learned how to eat sushi and all the other good stuff. And when I came back, I decided to change my major from pre-med over to teaching. And that worked real well. I've never looked back, enjoyed it, taught a couple of years in Northern California. Then I went to graduate school in Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma. They're better known for their athletic teams than they are for their academic programs, but they have some good academic programs there. And so I finished up a master's and a doctorate there. My master's is in physics, my doctorate is in science education. And the oil boom went bust. Oil goes in cycles. Sometimes it pays good, sometimes it pays poorly. And so it paid real good when I got there. Within 2 years, it was paying real badly. And so all of that money for paying for grad school kind of dried up. So I had to go out and get another real job. So another 4 years of high school in Oklahoma. And then 3 years at a science museum. And then I moved here to Kentucky. And been here 19 years. I can't believe it. It's been a while. It's been great. Teach here at Morehead. I'm a professor of science and science education. And work quite a bit with teachers in schools and teach a few classes. And it's just great life. I love what I'm doing. I could have made a whole lot more money as a doctor, but I don't think I would have got anywhere near as much fun as I've had being a teacher. So it's been a good experience. How long have I been teaching? Well, my first experience with teaching started in Japan with teaching conversational English at age 19. And I have been teaching every year since then. I have my 54th birthday coming up next month. So, what's the math there? You guys can do that for me? It's getting so big, let's see, what would that do?
I have to count on my fingers.
34, 35.
35?
35 years of teaching, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've been teaching for quite a while. Do you want to be a teacher?
No, I want to be a doctor.
Doctor. Sounds good. Have you checked out what doctors have to do?
Somewhat.
Yeah, I would check that out completely, because when I was teaching over in Japan, the English school I taught at was on the campus of a hospital, and so I got to watch doctors up close, when I wasn't teaching, and I did discover something. Every single day, doctors have to work with sick people, and they're no fun. I don't want to discourage you from becoming a doctor, but they do deal with a lot of sick people, and you got to have a stomach for that if you're going to be a doctor. Well, great. Go for it. Are you Jenny?
Yes.
All right, Jenny.
What types of degrees do you have?
Well, I'm a degree collector. No, actually, I've only collected 3 of them. My wife has more degrees than I do. But my bachelor's degree is in biophysics. I completed that at Loma University in California. And that's an excellent degree for pre-med. It also turns out to be an excellent degree to be a science teacher. And then I have a master's. But my bachelor's degree is in biophysics. I completed that at Loma University in California. And that's an excellent degree for pre-med. It also turns out to be an excellent degree to be a science teacher. And then I have a master's of science in physics, the emphasis on education, and that was in from the University of Oklahoma. And then I finished up my doctorate, a PhD in science education, also from the University of Oklahoma. So really I only have 3 degrees. The key thing to collecting degrees is to hang in there. You know, if you quit, you'll never get them. But if you hang in there and just keep working on it, you can rack up a whole bunch of degrees. I know some folks who have 2 or 3 masters and doctorate degrees. I don't know. I think they just like being like.
Tell us what you could do with that biophysics degree, because that's probably something that most of them's never even heard of.
Well, biophysics, it turns out, is really physiology from the physics perspective. So we work with how the eye works and the electricity in the body and a whole lot of things like that. It was a good degree, like I said, for pre-med, because a lot of pre-meds take biology, and there are a dime a dozen of biology majors, but biophysics, there just aren't very many of those, so it makes it a little bit more special. And then for me, it turned out to be an ideal degree for teaching because I had a lot of biology classes, a lot of physics classes, quite a lot of chemistry classes, and quite a bit of mathematics. And so when I graduated, I ended up certified in all 4 areas, which makes getting a job real easy. Because there's always a need, there's a high need for physics and chemistry teachers, biology, some need, math teachers, there's always a need for math teachers. And so I've never had any problem finding a position to teach in because of that broad background.
Yes.
Okay, well, since I'm mostly in education now, there's some big, heavy stuff going on right now. The state, and this in Kentucky, has decided to revise all of its standards. And science standards are to be revised this year. So that's a pretty big thing right here in Kentucky. Well, it turns out there's also national standards being developed. Very likely Kentucky will adopt the national standards. So those are the exciting things that are going on. We're going to come up with new things that everybody has to know. Probably not really. Probably won't be a whole lot of new things. They'll just be rephrased a little bit, come up with a new test, and instead of cats, we'll call it something else, and still teach the same stuff we always taught all the way along. But those are kind of exciting things. And also, there's always in science, we're looking for better ways to teach science. And so the latest push right now is toward integrating technology and inquiry into how we teach science. So it's exciting time. Fun to be in science teaching right now.
What's your favorite thing about your career?
Favorite thing about my career, I tell you what, I love teaching. I love trying to find new ways to teach. Today, this is my first time ever using Skype, so I'm learning something new here. That's the exciting thing. I love meeting people, working with my students, meeting teachers. There's just a whole lot of, those aspects are really fun. Collecting papers and grading them, yeah, that's not fun at all. And having to do that, but the meeting students, getting to know them, finding out about them, that kind of stuff is just exciting for me. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff. Finding new toys to play with in science is just a blast. New things that'll explode. I mean, whatever, stuff like that is great.
I like that too.
Any advice for students that want to pursue a career like yours?
Good job, Francis.
I want to pursue a career like mine. Well, pretty much for any career, diversify your experiences. So if you get the opportunity to go places, do stuff, learn languages, try things, taste new food, I don't know, whatever, read different books, watch different programs, anything you can do to diversify your experience in your life will help you adjust and adapt to whatever comes your way. So that's pretty